The future is Nurture. Hi, all. Here at Nurture, we have me, James Lee, the CEO of Nurture.
I'm Ryan, the COO.
I'm Natalie, the CMO.
I'm Ziki, the CIO.
And I'm Ava, the CFO.
Now that we're all familiar with each other, let's move on to our problem. What are we trying to solve? Well, it is the economic depression we have faced in recent light of events. With the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 8, economic growth has seen a major slowdown. More than 400,000 small businesses have closed within the first 3 months of the pandemic, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, why does this matter? Well, small businesses account for 44% of the economy in the United States, meaning it is integral to economic growth and stability. And with the major closing of 400,000 small businesses, it means that it's taken a large impact on our economy. Moving to this infographic, we can see that economic growth globally has slowed down. We see a 0.5% decrease in GDP per capita growth between 2018 and 2019, which does not account for COVID-19 and recent economic trends. Moving on to Ziki with our influential factors.
Thank you, James, for the wonderful introduction. So our idea is influenced by the recent hate crimes targeting the Asian populations. The Asian hate crimes have impacted businesses in Asian communities negatively, and the reason is quite simple. If people are afraid to leave their houses, how will they go out and spend money in local businesses? Many Asian American-owned businesses have gotten fewer customers due to the widespread fear of being victims of hate crimes themselves. And our goal is to help them assuage those fears and help them lift up their businesses. Another factor that influenced us is the tremendous job loss and the lack of income for many people due to the COVID pandemic. Our research estimated that over 400,000 businesses closed down during the time. And speaking from my own personal experience, I remember my family and I have found it very difficult running our business because our constructions were forced to suspend and the price of materials and holding costs also increased significantly for us, which caused our company to be on the brink of bankruptcy. And we understand this is not an isolated story. Many people shared a similar experience as us. According to our research, nearly 90% of small Asian American businesses lost revenue last year. And during these challenging times, our hearts go out to the communities, families, and businesses. And now moving on to the solutions of the problem.
Yes. So after our experience with the pandemic and how that has affected our community, we came up with the solution Nurture. Nurture is a platform that allows small businesses to advertise and market their product or service. Nurture promotes local culture and products as it prompts the exposure of local businesses, which is what makes New York City so diverse. So looking at an overview of our website, we will have a catalog of small businesses where they can each set up their own profile. User interaction would be through recommendations they can leave, which was something highly suggested in our survey, so we wanted to include that. They can also leave reviews, form groups to connect and learn about new businesses. There will be an interactive map, and we will highlight a new small business every week.
So the main components of our platform is the variety of options that we're going to be offering for the small business owners. And the most basic plan would be the free plan, and that would allow the small business owner to manage and run their own profile as well as their own posts. The next level would be premium, and that would allow us to manage their profile for them and post for them weekly as well. Premium Plus would allow us to manage their profile as well as additional marketing services on outside platforms such as Google Ads or Facebook Ads. And some add-ons we want to include are photography and extra posts, which would each be their own respective flat rate. And we would also like to display advertisements from other businesses on our platform as well.
So why choose Nurture? Well, we specifically promote small businesses in New York City. How many times have you caught yourself choosing a chain restaurant over a local one just because you're more familiar with it? Because I know I have. As people continue to choose these popular brands, this ends up leaving smaller businesses undiscovered. And so by evening out this playing field, Nurture is building a community of just small businesses. Small businesses would also be able to reach out to more customers through a digital presence. Oftentimes, small businesses in minority districts do not have an online presence. And so Nurture can act as a gateway for these businesses into the digital world. Nurture will also help alleviate damage done to small businesses by the pandemic. Last year, 600,000 jobs were lost in New York City, and there was a 42% decline in small businesses. By creating a network of existing small businesses through Nurture, we will help them get the publicity they've been lacking, which can compensate for the loss of customers from the pandemic. And lastly, from our survey, 74.5% respondents demonstrated strong interest and or would use Nurture?
So how we help these small businesses? By providing physical and hands-on help, like assisting them in setting up and helping maintain their own profiles. We consequently create new connections between businesses and their potential new customers. And we hope to ease these businesses back to their pre-COVID form and eventually help grow even more. With the expanded outreach we can provide to those who have suffered, we also hope that it will attract both businesses and customers in our own Asian American neighborhoods, additionally helping calm some of the fears of our community. So our competition, who are they? Some companies that are doing something similar to what we're trying to do are Yelp, Foursquare, and just general social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. These companies display a catalog of businesses and provide a place where they can market themselves. And in the beginning, we had trouble differentiating ourselves from these other platforms. But as we did more research on the COVID-19 pandemic and more recent events, we found our niche: Asian American businesses, and more generally, minority-owned local businesses. As you can see in the chart, we provide hands-on help and specialize in local businesses, whereas Yelp, who seem like our biggest competitor right now, doesn't have that strength we have. While we both have the ability for businesses to create their own personal accounts and provide adequate business-to-customer interaction, we also have business-to-business interaction, which can help us achieve our goal of a network of customers and local small businesses.
Thank you, Ryan. Moving on to our expert advice. In a talk with Tony Forte, who is a successful entrepreneur who runs 10 small businesses, he encouraged the basis of digital marketing. And this therefore goes into Nurture, which is run on digital marketing. He said that there was a level of gold to digital marketing and that Nurture can tap into the mass awareness and mass connection that digital marketing can offer, which elevates small businesses onto a larger playing field. We have also incorporated valuable insight from past judges, those who are part of Dignity of Children, and Shannon Wolf. Moving on to Ava with their finances.
Yes, so delving deeper into our revenue plan, how are we going to be making money? So first, we're going to be using the fundraising, the $1,350 from this competition into sort of pushing through those early stages of our development. And then in our future, we plan to gain most of our revenue from these small business owners who purchase monthly premium plans. And so the premium plan would be $25 and the premium plus plan would be $35. We also hope to include add-ons, which are photography and posts. And we also want to gain revenue from outside companies and fundraising from future competitions. And so to address the question of whether or not we are sustainable, according to our calculations, we would only need 10 premium users and 10 premium plus users to gain a yearly revenue of $7,200 per year. And so yes, we are sustainable because we would only need 20 paid users per year in order to gain thousands of dollars. And now onto our budgets. So as you can see from the graph, we're going to first use our $162 for our Wix membership. And then moving on to advertising our own platform, we're going to be spending that on marketing expenses, which are going to be approximately $300. And we also want to invest in a digital designer as well as a digital marketing consultant. And those are going to be $188 and $200. And finally, looking towards our future, we hope to expand into an app in which that would provide greater accessibility and greater portability for our users. And that would be approximately $500. And as you can see, we're going to be utilizing the entirety of our $1,350 budget for these expenses.
Thank you to all my group members for an amazing explanation of our platform. And just as a summary, our platform is one where we aim to help small businesses who may not have a strong online presence or one at all gain one. We're trying to create connections between local small businesses and potential customers. And we hope that it will grow into a network of connections between these customers and very small businesses, and that it will be mutually beneficial towards both groups. And through these potential new customers, we can stimulate the economy and provide a fix to UN's SDG 8 in our own Asian American neighborhoods.
Thank you, Ryan, for that beautiful summary. Moving on to our vision. What are our future endeavors? Well, we will continue hands-on development in our New York City area with businesses existing on our platform, which creates a strong relevance. We seek to deepen and extend our reach to more underrepresented small businesses, diversifying our reach. And we will stay true to our diversity and growth mindset, as well as have financial contributions to the community, whether that's a share of our profits or some grants that we may do in the future. And then we will invest in the next generation of entrepreneurs, starting with us. With all that said, join us here at Nurture because the future is nurture. Thank you for taking time to listen to our passion and connecting with us, and we will be happy to answer any questions.
Wow, Team Nurture, that was impressive. Thank you for that. We all know that the backbone of the American society is small business, so definitely a powerful presentation. On top of that, I want to give a shout out to the AAPI Heritage Month that was in May. So that's the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month that was in May. Definitely shout out in honoring that. And now I need to give it to our judges. Judges, what do you think? This was an awesome presentation.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to commend, I think your presentation was so clean, easy to follow, and I really appreciated the Prezi part of your presentation. I do want to ask a few questions though, one more around like logistics and recruitment. How are you going to recruit your business? Because I know you mentioned you did about 20 a year to keep this sustaining. How are you going to be searching or at least signing those businesses on?
Well, we're going to go in our local communities and try to extend there. We right now have we're trying to primarily target restaurants because those have been the most affected and probably in the entertainment industry, specifically in Chinatown in our local communities. So we're trying to aim for that. And Ava, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, so I wanted to add that in the initial stages, we're planning on sort of reaching out to them personally. And so maybe that would involve us going to their businesses in person if the pandemic will allow us to do that. But moving forward, we plan to sort of use those marketing expenses that we've spent to reach out to more business owners without having to personally connect with them.
Mm-hmm. And then I also want to add, kind of going to Ms. Anako's point that she asked earlier, some other groups, you know, how are you going to collect that data from your, from your constituents you're going to be partnering with in their business? Because I know there's like that flat fee of whether it's the premium package or the basic. How will you know and capture that data if their businesses are actually thriving and increasing from your services?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're going to be using analytics, which is widely available on Wix, as well as our app that we're trying to create in our future endeavors. So definitely using those analytics to provide feedback for not only our services, but for the businesses themselves to see if it's worth it to stick with Nurture, and therefore provide that dual communication so we can adequately suit each other's needs.
I also wanted to add, obviously with the hands of help we provide, we're going to be in near constant contact with these businesses. And we do hope that as we get our app built, we're going to have like some, like, for example, a QR code in the front of the business where customers can actually access our app. So that's another way where we can check up on our analytics.
I would like to add, this was great, and you all said it perfectly. Throughout this time in the pandemic, we had to pivot in the way we do business, more to apps, more technological. But what I want to recommend is when you start charging businesses, you should have some testimonials to support the success of your business, right? And even how you expand, like we can all say, I'll, charge you $25 and then I can advertise your business, but you can add the testimonials and say, we also have a reach outside of New York City, outside of USA, outside in the galaxy, right? I don't know, but we want to have those testimonials, and then we want to show how your business can reach outside of New York, if not USA. Okay, but great presentation, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. To kind of address that, we're going to start with like Zeki's family in our story, and like my father also has a small business, so we're going to try to use those as testimonials like you recommended, which is a great idea. And regarding like expanding our reach, we kind of talked with Mr. Forte, and he recommended to start with the tribe to really have a strong grasp in your local community and then extend from there. So we'll definitely take that into account, and thank you for that.
Thank you. I'd have to echo what the other judges said, that this was a great presentation, very clear, succinct, concise. I also love that you gave us a visual. Again, I'm a teacher, visual learner. I love that you gave us a visual of your competition. And I noticed that you sort of compare to like the larger companies like the Yelps, and there was another one on there I don't remember. My question is, did you compare and do those same demographics for maybe smaller organizations that are doing the same thing that you're doing, such as like We Buy Black? And if yes, what did you get out of that? And how does that help you better what you're doing with your business?
Well, as we were doing research on our competition, we tried to search for companies that are doing something similar. So ones that are kind of providing hands-on help, and that was really difficult to find. So I can't say we have explored the smaller businesses who are doing similar things. We kind of I don't want to say resorted, but we did resort to some of the bigger businesses.
Understandably so, and I think that in the start of your business and your plans, I think it's important to do that. But you also want to really do your research on your competitors, because although Yelp is a great platform that you may use in comparison, I would want to know that if you are targeting a specific community, what other organizations are doing that, and how is it similar or different to yours. So I would definitely take time to do some of that research. But great presentation, like everyone said.
Yes. And I do want to add, my memory just jogged me. Before pre-pandemic, I do have a contact with a tailor that is Asian American. She actually asked me, because she knew I worked at a high school, if she had anybody in mind that could actually help out her business to like expand it. And I'm definitely going to connect you guys with her. I know this is pre-pandemic, but just kind of it's Woo Tailoring up in the Upper East Side. So I'm sure she would love to hear from you guys. So I'll definitely connect you all.
Likewise here.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Never know,
Lots of
right?
businesses that we can connect you to. So keep in touch.